he was like the only person that was having a good amount of success against Miracle. Versus Fnatic.
Yeah, we got our draft. We'll switch attention now, focus in on.
They like it though.
First two though?
Yeah, they do it all the time with like, what's the mid hero? Shadow Fiend?
I've seen Naga Mirana used to be a thing, but then Mirana kind of was bad.
Also Night Stalk, we haven't seen him that much in this tournament.
So I feel like the only team that prioritized him was VP.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I think they said that they felt like this hero is a bit limited. It's like a strong hero, but it has to be a killer. Like the only way you make this hero work is it has to go around getting kills. I think you told me, Sam, once, like, you played in a game, you had like a 20-minute ags, and then you just watch people go high ground on you, and you don't provide enough team fight.
Yeah, that's the problem with the hero. His laning phase is also like it's not as good as the other like heroes till 4 minutes. So,
is it possible that this Naga's a core, or are you pretty sure it's a 4?
I think I feel like the reasoning they picked this is because is what I said in the start. Like, Fnatic has kind of been only winning when they win the lanes. And the Naga support, he's like one of the strongest laners in the game. If you remember AG at TF5, AI would just go offlane with the Naga on the 4 and like you know,
high armor.
Like, Riptide I think got buffed. Like the Illusion Naga got nerfed, right? But Riptide got really buffed. So in some ways, support Naga has been buffed in the past few patches. I think Misery is like the only player that I've seen play support. He was playing when he was on Optic, he would pick Naga support.
So I don't understand this Underlord pick at all, to be honest. Like, I'm not flaming it. I just do you guys have any idea?
Just Hero Fnatic, like High's like been playing it for months now. Like as one of their top offlane heroes. So seems like a comfort pick. It's pretty good at taking Roche. Talk about being on the dire side when you secure that Roche.
He's a imbalanced laner. If you 1v1 him versus like every offlaner, he actually beats every lane.
Yeah, the passive's insane.
So the reason that Fnatic likes this hero is because I said like they like winning the lanes, and if they pick Underlord, they can send him safe lane versus the offlaner, go aggro. They can send him off laner with like a Pile Die hero, and he's just like really chaotic in the lanes. If you watch every Underlord game the last like few days, you remember like the Underlord has always these high last hits, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with this hero is he doesn't do much compared to other heroes that gets a lot of farm. Like you give a lot of farm to a hero like Beastmaster, for even Omni Knight, but like Underlord, he doesn't really have that much kill potential, right? He just kind of pushes lanes and gets fat. But he's like a super strong laner, which is why Fnatic love picking him.
They picked him like pretty much every game, I think. I guess that's the only reason. In terms of putting it into the draft, just a comfort zone thing, they know what they're doing with it.
And also, what God said is true. Like he secures you Roche because his Q spell is like
that's insane.
Super good on Roche. So.
They both need a 5, something we don't see too often. Neither of them have picked a 5 yet.
You watched the series OG versus who was that team they played last night? Complexity.
Yeah.
Like I thought that series was like a battle of who got Wyvern, and like finally OG first picked the Wyvern. So it's interesting to see like suddenly them not picking, because I think their two favorite 5s were Wyvern and Shadow Demon, right?
Yes.
I feel like OG's game plan centers a lot on Fly's 5 hero.
I think the Shaman too. They maybe even played the Shaman more than those two.
Do we? I'm like 100. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know. You guys think that this next pick's gonna be one of those 3 heroes?
Yes, it should be. That's why I feel like Envy should have banned Wyvern and Shadow Demon instead of Undying plus whatever. Because I feel like yesterday OG got exposed. If you watch their drafts, like when they didn't have the Wyvern, the SD, or the Rasta, I feel like they've lost a lot of the games. Like they picked like Phoenix 5 or something. Like what else is he gonna play? Like I think there's maybe AA, but AA is banned. They banned AA, so I feel like Envy should have banned the Wyvern or the Shadow Demon. And now he gets a free one of those two, unless he has something else completely different. But that's how I take OG at least this tournament.
I like Wyvern already against like the high strength heroes, but
SD is really good right now with Tiny. That combo is insanely strong.
Yes.
10 seconds remaining.
You also kill Underlord really easily.
Yeah, he's good against tanky cores.
5 seconds remaining.
Open that present.
Like No Tails hero, he goes to like a drums into Blink, create space while Rezo's playing like the hard farmer.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend, the Medusa. Medusa's still in the pool, by the way.
I'm not sure. Like I feel Envy didn't do
the other
research, because like if you ban one of the two, like OG takes it and you can't take it. So now his concept is, which I think is insanely strong, like throughout the game, because you take the counter to Tiny, right?
Yeah, it's
I think SD is very good versus Tiny, and you give him a hero like you give the save, and the disruptions on the tiny, like when you're allied, it's really strong. You have super high burst in lane, and yeah. So I'm liking OG's game plan. Like whatever Fly and Sebastian gets effing mad talked about, like this Naga support, which I think it is. They picked it purely to secure No-Tail's lane.
You may not see Sebastian or fucking mad in the room, but he is drafting. He is still coaching remotely.
Yeah, remote.
So, he's got shared screen or Skype audio. Whatever they use.
And if you read his Twitter, like he something cool he's doing is like he's able to listen to all the casts too from home.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you watch a lot of these casts that like some players have been like talking, and like there's a lot of stuff you can learn. Like I feel like yesterday he was tweeting like I really love listening to Lil cast. And if you watch,
he wanted more of Lil's cast.
Yeah, if you listen to Lil and Noah and talk, like you can learn a lot about how Virtus Pro think. Because they were talking a lot about denying and the lanes and stuff.
That meant a lot. That was insane to hear.
And it's like suddenly Jirax is gonna probably play this Naga hero, and it kind of suits everything. So I'm thinking like, you know, they had a long talk, and like fucking man's like, yo, Lil talked about all this, or maybe just like he is like, I have this strong opinion, and now you can see it in their draft. So
I don't particularly love the Weaver pick myself. It's like one of the better laners against Brew. Because you can like still last hit if you're Drunken Haze with Sakuchi and you have enough mana because of stick, but they lack lockdown on the side of Fnatic, and they lack carry as well, and they definitely need some semblance of a carry, and they don't have absolute last pick, so I feel like whatever hero they pick is just gonna get lane countered. I don't love the pick. They do have a high pace lineup though. I don't really think.
Do you think they lack catch then outside of Fnatic?
I think on Fnatic,
like, isn't it awkward for them to start a?
Yeah, but they've kind of had this in all their drafts, right? Like their support. When you pick Underlord offlane, that's kind of the problem you have, right? And then they've been playing like Rubik ET every game, and Rubik's there, but like Rubik is better than Wyvern at starting fights, right? So I see what Blitz is saying. I also agree with what BSJ said about like the Weaver, but I can see the reasoning because Weaver is one of the best heroes in lane versus Panda. And generally how S4 plays is he just Drunken Hazes the carry, but Weaver can farm with the Sakuchi through it, and he also benefits from Luand versus Panda. So, like I said, Envy, he literally, the way he's been drafting this tournament is literally just caring about the lanes. So you can see it in his draft. Like they have this Underlord Nightstalker duo offlane, which is really strong. Then you have the Wyvern that can help the Weaver or the mid hero, and then you have like the Weaver that doesn't really die to Panda in lane. So if Fnatic don't win these lanes right now with the lineup that OG has, I feel OG has advantage. But like the whole concept, if Fnatic can win these lanes, which they've been doing every game they've won, they have a fairly good shot.
Is Medusa not their pick? Like just like a hard. Don't they need a hard carry in the mid lane?
Yes, they should definitely pick Medusa. But I don't know if Abed generally plays that hero.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like his style. But he is like usually the solo carry of the game hero. Usually more flashy heroes like the Tinkers, which has already been banned out second round. I just feel like they need a late gamer. And
he wants Tinker.
They banned Terrorblade. Well, Tinker's banned.
Oh, actually,
they banned Terrorblade, which means Medusa's maybe.
Yeah, it is a decent counter. Goes both ways though.
Yeah. Why do you think Medusa's been ignored this far? Like we've seen a lot of Medusas picked up very early in the draft, and it's kind of talked about as being one of the top meta heroes right now.
The more they get picked, like the more teams figure it out. So they're, went to first pick, second pick because people were like, wow, how do we beat this hero? And then suddenly these are strats that beat the hero and worked, like came to fruition. So then they're like, we'll wait. And it's still like a good hero, like very good. And it has to be considered in your draft, but it's not as like, it kind of goes from late picks to first picks because people don't know how to counter it. Then people learn how to counter it.
But I feel like as a hero gets like picked more and more Death Prophet.
Oh, I actually thought that DP was gonna be picked by OG because it like doesn't really care about the Nightstalker. It's a Yule's builder too, which I think is really good against OG's lineup. And OG needs like wave clear too. Like I feel like they need out spam.
They're gonna pick
Medusa. Sniper is my Invoker. Oh, okay. Yeah, hero that sits in the back was my idea, but it's not exactly what I thought. They do have a lot of setup. Naga Net, Shadow Demon Disruption, or the Sunstrikes.
Rezer's been trying to make this hero work. I've seen him so many times just in the watch tab playing Invoker. They played it once and won with an MDL, but
I mean,
it's a tough hero to play right now.
yeah, because he like OG classic, right? Every mid player before him on that team has like been the best invoker in the world, right? So he just wants to follow.
Yeah.
I like how OG has kind of adapted their drafts throughout this tournament, and I feel like the way they pick around Tiny now is like really good. We talked about previous series how like they don't play it as a one position on no one, even though whatever lane he goes to, sometimes mid, sometimes safe lane. It's like a hero that's just guaranteed to get a good lane and then does its job but doesn't really carry the game. So I really like how they have these like 4 heroes that run around the map doing stuff, and then Invoker.
The lane is really important because how it should be is that I think they're gonna let S4 solo, and they're gonna sit there with SD, Tiny, Naga, and literally their game plan is to like stroke like no tail, stroke his Tiny. Sorry.
Stroke that big stick of
Stroke
his.
that big stick of his Tiny. But,
Yes.
And like they have Sunstrike with the disruption, and yeah, so
I think they need help mid at least a little bit. I think it'll be Naga though, in the mid lane to start.
yeah.
Just to like kind of serve as a damage soak because of the high armor, and like otherwise Nightstalker can kind of just bully the Invoker away. Like past the early few levels, I think Invoker will do well. They just have to be wary of him like feeding at nighttime. Because they do have the Wyvern Nightstalker roam, and DP's pretty strong with like level 4 5 to
They've got good sets for the Sunstrike, ensnare, Shadow Demon Disruption, kill potential there that make it a good Invoker game. Outside of that, like what makes this like a good game to be picking Invoker, other than the fact you do have Sunstrike kill up?
He's just a hero that like doesn't want to play with the team early on in the game, and they have a bunch of heroes that create space. They have Brewmaster on S4 and No Tail on Tiny, like 2 heroes that team fight and pressure towers. So then you just have this hero that needs to make use of that space. The other day they picked Arc Warden, and today, that's just their playstyle. And Resolution, being one of like the top farming players, honestly, in the world, makes use of that space better than anybody. So he's just a hero that's scaled. Like they have no lockdown on Fnatic, literally no lockdown, and the counter to Invoker's like getting on him and bursting him. So I actually think OG's draft. I heavily favor OG's draft here.
I think Fnatic is on a timer. Like I look at the cores on Fnatic, and all 3 of them easily died to Tiny. Something I learned from BSJ actually. He's talking about how to counter Tiny, and Tiny is weak versus like the cores you can't burst. That's why Medusa is kind of good versus Tiny, right? So I look at the cores on Fnatic's side, and I feel he can kind of burst, especially the Weaver and the DP.
Wow.
So
Learning something new every day, Sam.
thank you, BSJ.
Thank you.
Well, you've got the promo code.
30 seconds to
I know some stuff, but I've actually learned so much at this tournament. Just being around these players has been awesome.
And,
You guys should just start charging people instead of paying them to be here.
Yeah.
That's a new way, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes cast at Summit, that'll cost you $20 a day.
annoying, but also like the reason they want this Invoker, he's a win condition, right? So they want generally OG, they always want Resolution on the win condition hero. They don't want to give No Tail they want No Tail to be like the playmaking player, and they want Resolution to be Terrorblade. I guess he like lost faith in Medusa or something. They lost like a game or 2 with him, but
Yeah, they didn't have good success.
yeah, Invoker's like a win condition hero. My problem with this hero is like he has a lot of the same weaknesses like Anti-Mage has in some way. Like he's a hero that needs like this fast he's like Arcor in some sense too. Like you need this like high level, and like you need your like 2 or 3 items before you can really fight. And before that, you're kind of like you're not really that useful at fighting.
Yeah.
Like you don't have no purpose game besides farming. That's why even like the best Invoker players, like they don't really play the hero anymore. Like you stop picking him, I think. Even newbie like stop. I don't Liquid as well. I don't think they really picked him that much at Dream League. So
Seems like one game every now and then when Liquid's really on a roll, they might bust it out, but it's not. They will pick it.
Because the meta's gone so fast, and Invoker's like a 20-minute hero. Like you're playing a game essentially without your mid hero for 15-20 minutes. Like SECC said this hero has like one of the weirdest like curves ever. Because for 15 minutes, he's essentially useless. Like Sunstrike's nice, but a lot of other heroes could make kills happen around the map, like Quap. But this hero becomes so strong in the late game. But in the early game, does very, very little. All he does is hit neutral creeps.
Are you on OG's side for this draft? Well, we haven't got the predictions fully in. What do you think?
I think Fnatic can win this game, because I could see a very real scenario where they just keep ganking mid repeatedly. If they take the mid tower and the bottom tower before like the 12-minute mark, I'd say I favor their chances. Because then they can just limit the amount of space that Invoker has. You ward the camp with the Shrine on it, on the left side, and then Invoker can't really farm. Like, he's got to touch lanes.
I don't like the way that Fnatic is. I feel like Fnatic needs to give Abed a good lane, and they're not really helping him mid. And he has like one last hit, and Invoker has 4 to 3. It's on the Invoker's hill too, and now Naga's just gonna heal and run at the again. I feel like the DP. And if I look at Fnatic's draft, there's one hero that needs a good start. It's Death Prophet. Like this Unruler with a good start, what is he gonna do with it? So that's the problem with the hero. But like, if this Death Prophet gets shut down, which is happening to him right now, like they don't really have a hero that can make space on the map. So.
This Brewmaster's just gonna keep throwing Drunken Haze at Weaver, limit his farm. But it's not really being contested at all.
You can see, like, you know, OG are understanding this, like, as well, picking this Naga support. Like, look at the denies on the Evoker. I look so much at the denies now when I look at this last hit screen. I never really looked at it before.
Well, they didn't matter nearly as much as they do now. This
Kind of shows who's got the edge in a lane. Like often in the mid matchup, you'll have 2 heroes who can get last hits. Like a DK is going to spam his fire, but if one hero is getting all the denies, clearly they're having the upper hand there with the extra support.
massive level advantage from denies, and like in the previous patches, if you had a hero with you and you got every single deny, you still got out leveled. But that's not the case anymore. Denies just give you nothing.
Yeah, not scout the Invis Dire scan, because he knows.
They can go on him, right?
He
They're
walks
waiting.
up, but he seems to be aware of what's going on here.
Yeah.
But this is like, it's still not good. It doesn't feel good. Like, this hero needs to get a decent lane. Like, Death Prophet is not a good comeback hero. But the good Death Prophet is like that fast phase, you know, Yules, blah blah blah, that runs at your towers and runs and kills you. But this is like the DP that's losing his lane.
I
It
love
feels
these
like
support
shit.
movements by OG.
They want to set up a Sunstrike at bottom.
You said they were just going to leave the Brewmaster to his own devices, and then they're just securing the start for the other 2 cores. Yeah, like you said, they need to prioritize DP on Fnatic, which they're not. And then I think OG has the right priorities on their laning stage.
So being a Tiny player,
Yes.
as I watched you play Tiny the other day, I see every game like this hero when he goes safe lane, always like it doesn't feel like his last hits ever get contested. Like why is that? For the viewers.
It's if you're a melee hero, he always threatens tosses under tower, and then like also if you're a melee hero, anytime like you go for a last hit, he can actually just miss the deny but hit you at the same time. So he's either getting the deny but also harassing you, and it's like 100 damage. You can't like match up against it. So he just trades really efficiently. So if you contest him, you're like losing the trades guaranteed.
I think that's a broken concept of the hero.
I think it's broken that I think like they used to be increasing up. They haven't. Looks like everyone's gonna be okay here, but it's like the concept that they gave him a bunch of base damage over like the patches before they changed him, and now they just give him cleave. So now he has like really high base damage and cleave. And I think like what if they actually nerf him, which I believe they will, it'll be his base damage. I think is the problem. If he had like honestly 10 less base damage, I think he'd still be a fine hero, just like not completely broken.
Look at the last hits on this Invoker, man.
The dream.
Abed, so sad right now. Because A, I don't think he enjoys playing this hero that much. And B, kind of getting dumpstered in lane. That's insane CS difference.
You played with him on DC, was he one of those mids that wanted to have lots of supports come and help him, or did he like being kind of left alone most of the time? What was his style?
He doesn't really say anything, so you have to play off him.
Okay.
But generally, he's a player that's kind of... I didn't really understand it, but like, he's a killing player. Like, he has like this... The Pinoy... Like, you know, he reminds me a lot of like, you know, Cuckoo from DNC?
Yeah.
They're not the exact same player, but they have like he loves playing these Quaps and Pucks and Tinkers and like all these intelligence heroes, and he loves killing you.
He's really good at gauging exactly when he can kill you.
It reminds me a lot of Sumo, honestly. Well, he's not like a huge farming player, but he will kill you.
There's the Sunstrike.
Sunstrike setup, yeah.
It's not Rezo getting the kill, but next best thing, your Tiny gets the kill.
And he goes for this bottle pretty much every game on Tiny.
So nice being able to buy it from the secret shop.
Like, he wants his core items and farm, and then he like how he plays his Meepa, right? He wants his Blink, and he wants his Dragonlance, and then he's gonna chase you across the map and kill everyone. That's kind of his strength as a player. And now he's playing this Death Prophet. DP, he doesn't really have high solo kill potential unless you're Snowball.
Here we go again. Round two.
Deja Vu Ohio again getting going on, and this time Notel again finished off the kill.
Rough. They invested a lot into that lane too, Fnatic. They dual lane that for quite some time, only for him to die twice.
Yeah.
Like now it's not worth the trade of them giving up on their DP.
Tiny's getting runes and stuff too, so he's got endless mana supply.
Double damage rune bottom. That's so huge for this hero. With his ult, he's going to hit for 130 with double damage.
Looking really good for OG right now. You can feel it like in the game, like even watching it, like the levels, the networks, like the supports as well, like who's making plays on supports. Like this Night Stalker, it's nighttime. What has he done?
Still sitting top. It feels like in a sense OG have almost won 3 lanes. Like yeah, they're not winning the CS up top, but the fact Brewmaster is getting uncontested last hits and levels is in a sense a win.
I also don't like that Envy's like, I don't know if Envy asked Pi to stay here, but I don't like that NS is staying top so long. Like I feel like the reason you pick the Weaver versus the Brew is that the Weaver will last it regardless.
You don't need to help him.
And I feel like this NS is like should have been mid or should have been bottom, and the Wyvern should have been mid. And I feel like that's kind of screwing over Fnatic's game because I feel like this Invoker versus Wyvern Q, like he will actually lose his lane versus DP. Wyvern Q is probably the best level 1 spell in the game, right? I think there's no other spell as good as I feel.
Most damage by far, yeah.
And like the Wyvern used the spell not helping the hero he should have been helping. It should have been the NS bottom or top, the Wyvern starting mid, helping Abed, and then eventually at some point the Night Stalker can rotate mid and they can dive the Invoker. But like suddenly this Invoker is super fat, DP is level 5 when Invoker is level 7, and the game just feels like shit.
And any hero in the game actually in the mid lane cannot lane against that setup with level 7 Invoker. Like Invoker with levels is insanely scary, his damage output.
Now Fnatic, they have no real play option.
Yep.
Like, this is going to be one of those Night Stalker with 0 kills games, and it's horrible.
Might even die here.
Yeah. We talked about how this hero's a killer. Like that's his main purpose. The snowball. Help your team out.
They even knew that move was coming mid with the Night Stalker. Like Jarix is just sitting there on that hill by the mid tower, just waiting for the Night Stalker to roam in for that play and counters it. Don't think they have Sunstrike for this kill, but they do have the kill onto the Night Stalker, and they're gonna get a high as well with one more toss. No Tail gets himself a double kill. He's on a dominating streak.
They're gonna get more.
Yep. DJ. Should be no more here. No Tail. Kind of low.
That DD is so much value, he's gonna like 2-shot him.
Tiny is out of control.
So farmed.
Hey boys, my 2-0, 3-0's still alive.
Hey man,
2-0,
we'll chop it up to an
My
outdraft.
2-0, 2-0, 3-0.
No, something be straight. I want to talk a bit more about like why it is an outdraft. I'm just saying, you know.
No, yeah, no. And I said it during the draft. Was I've said that like they had absolute last pick on OG, and then Fnatic set up this draft where Abed's hero was gonna have to like carry the game. And then since OG has absolute last pick, Abed's gonna get a lack of ideal setup in the laning stage, and that just makes it really hard to win when your win condition has a bad lane.
May not even need the Sunstrike, just a straight up solo kill. Looks.
Yeah, but give your boy the last hit.
I mean, he's not giving it to him. If he wants to throw that Sunstrike.
Roman needs to earn that respect to get that. You know, Ana earned the respect and Miracle earned it. Now Roman needs like. You know,
oh wow, last boulder as he's coming out of his ult.
I mean, at this point, it's well and truly 3 lanes won. We'll see what Envy can do to rotate and make some plays. But
I don't know their comeback potential. I think they'll eventually have to like force a Roche with DP ult because they can't really push towers into Brew.
Mid lane, found a kill for the Invoker possibly here on the Abed. It's just going from bad to worse.
Yeah. Like.
That NS just respawned.
Well, Weaver cleanup. He has time lapse.
Okay.
Well, Envy's trying.
Yeah, he's gonna get a couple of kills here.
Okay.
Don't. Oh, Rest is out of mana.
No mana for Ghostwalk.
Should be fine. Yeah. But I don't know, Fnatic's draft, their win condition is snowballing lanes and then playing really fast pace with Weaver, Death Prophet course. And Radiant literally just needed to survive lanes. Instead what happened is Radiant crushed the lanes. And that just looks horrible for Fnatic.
Yeah, if these lanes were opposite, it seemed like as expected. Instead, it's like...
Oh boy.
Naga almost
I was there. I was hoping he ran that direction.
In the other days, OG was drafting these like Shadow Demon Court or Shadow Demon supports, these like low damage supports, and my comment was like they had no damage, and they were picking these like Medusas, And I really like the way they've like adjusted their drafts. Now they have Tiny, Brewmaster, and Invoker, and like you just have these setups with the 2 supports, which is the way they want to play. And then you have a lot of damage follow-up, and it's actually leading to a lot of early game kills.
The first move coming out from Abid with Exorcism, scouted out by Fly.
It just, it feels so bad for Fnatic to play.
It feels so forced.
That's kind of the comeback play there. If they can get a kill on the Tiny, that's a 5 kill streak.
Fly's gonna live too.
Yeah, a 5 kill streak Tiny into a tower would have been a good chunk of gold. Not happening.
I mean, honestly, can't he just TP out? You know what I mean? Like, their only stun is Night Stalker Q and Wyvern ult, like to break TPs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like all their movements are so difficult.
This is why I think like catch is so important in this meta of Dota. Like if you don't have it, you can't really do much.
You have no comeback plays when you're behind.
Yeah, exactly. Like catch determines whether or not you can start a fight, and starting a fight is usually how you come back in a game. Like if you get the jump on somebody, then Dota is always even. How I was taught.
That's a good point, yeah.
That's kind of the problem with Fnatic's drafts though, Blitz, right? Like, they rely so much on winning lanes, but they don't really pick that much catch. So if they lose the lanes, they have no comeback, right?
Yeah.
And how do they really come back in this game? They have no jump.
I think Envy can go off. Like
Yeah.
if Envy goes.
It's so hard though, right? Like, he can't even solo kill any of their supports. Like the SD's just gonna disrupt him.
And Tiny's
Run
going to
away.
blink now, which is a lot of burst potential onto that Weaver that he's going to be afraid of. He managed to nicely juke it there.
Like this Weaver ain't. He isn't a. You know, I don't know. It feels like he has to do everything to win this game.
He is not a
he does.
solo carry hero either.
He's playing really well though.
Yeah.
He is, for sure.
Like if they get the kill right now, and I think they should.
Yep.
Like this is a good start. This is their timing window that still exists. Like if Fnatic get aggressive here, and they abuse the fact that this Invoker can't really fight for this time period, and they take these like 4-on-5 engagements, then I could still see them win the game.
It looks like OG still wants to fight.
Towers. That's another problem with DP in this patch. Like the tower armor, the HP got really buffed, so the towers are hard to take.
In one ult, yeah.
Yes, and just overall everything. Like towers are hard to take. That means I feel DP generally. Like more of these. That's why you kind of also feel you see like this Medusa mid. Like how do you take Medusa's tower, right? How?
Yeah.
You actually can't. The tower's so tanky. He sits there spamming Mystic Saint. You can't jump him because of his ult and mana shield. That's why honestly this hero is so strong. You can't take his tower mid. That's generally a broken concept.
Oh man.
That's a feels bad, man.
That's the struggle for this Weaver to carry and turn around this game. This Tiny is ahead with a blink.
Net the courier.
Oh,
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Jesus. 4-man the courier.
I mean that's like tower gold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can net through BKB, so that makes sense.
Yeah. You can also roar it, right?
Yes, you can roar the courier.
Prophet's level 8 at 14.
I actually rotated down and found nothing for like 2 minutes.
So 12, 10, 9 on the course of Right now it's so I still want to think about how Fnatic can come back. Like but saying like
It's just
so
timing.
hard. You know what they need to take this top tower, and then they need a medallion maybe on like their cores, and they need to just Roche with the under. And Weaver needs to take Roche. Need like a beautiful fight.
He's like forced to go Lincolns, though, so he's like their solo carry that isn't going damage. So,
Yeah. But he's also quite poor. Like have it soon.
yeah, he's 2,500 gold.
You don't think
behind
they need to
Tiny
take
already.
mid tower on Fnatic?
I think they.
I feel it's really
Can't.
hard. I
Yeah.
feel like OG is not dumb. They're not going to give their mid tower for free, right? I think this top tower is free for. I don't feel OG will defend top tower, but OG will defend mid. And you need to, at this point when you're behind, you know, it's like you got to take what you can get. It's free, you know. You're like, you just got to take the free stuff.
Everything's bad, so take the best of the
Yeah.
bad.
And make
Alright.
make the best out
They
of
just
it.
lost their own mid tower, like pretty uncontested.
Envy's trying to like cut some ways, be cute.
he's got to be so careful with this Tiny coming down here.
He knows, too.
They're checking all the tree spots here. No-tell Invis will see Envy in a second.
It's fast. That was so fast. Rough. And now since Weaver died bottom, they're gonna defend top. They're not gonna give this. Now OG's. That's why I feel like Fnatic, they're not really taking top tower. Like they should have already surrounded top tower with Night Stalker. And, maybe Weaver could be doing cute plays bottom, but DP should have already been like hitting top with the Wyvern. Maybe Wyvern can stay. Regardless, this top tower should have. Now instead, what happens? They don't take the top tower.
They lose their
OG
mid
TP's
tower.
top, and now OG's gonna choke out the Fnatic's jungle. Now the map is like restricted. It's like have nowhere to go. It feels so bad for Fnatic.
Alright, we'll get the TP out with it. Notel is 9-0 on time. That perhaps killing him is going to be the way back into this game because there's a lot of comeback gold to be had. This kill streak.
That is definitely like, but the thing is, like we already talked about, like how do they actually kill him? Like
Yeah.
they don't have any catch.
Shadow Demon Disruption too as a save.
Yeah, and Naga Sleep too. Master Counter Initiation. I'm not trying to like be too grim for them. It's just like when you draft. I've had this exact problem on my teams before, where you like don't draft any catch, and you realize if you fall behind, like what's your method of comeback?
It's okay to not draft catch. I feel if you have a better.
Yes, yeah. I'm not saying you always have to have a ton of catch. It's just like if you're behind, you can't come back.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's good to have everything, obviously both, but there's like some games where you just, for example, I think Kingwin versus EG Game 3, they had like no catch. They just had Medusa Ogre, and they just sat there and farmed, and EG knows better than EG. Arguably, EG should have won that game, but you can. But it does make like what Blitz says. It does make playing Dota harder though.
I think Swindle said something along the lines of like, doesn't matter what your net worth is if you're stunned, and it's like, but if you're this far ahead and you have no disables, they just do more damage. They're tankier.
I should try and get Medallion. Another cool thing about Naga support is it gives you Roshan. Get Riptide spell.
Yep.
It's like really strong minus armor. Oh, Naga actually.
Get a medallion.
You could always sleep as well to disengage.
Yeah, Naga, especially on this side, like he's a free Rosh. Dire doesn't want to go down in this pit area where the ward is. If they come, like they're just gonna sleep and set up with like Panda and tiny like. Their draft just looks so beautiful. OG. They sleep, then they combo the tiny combo onto the Wyvern. As soon as sleep ends, Wyvern dies. Can't save. Panda just blinks at ults like whoever, the DP probably. Just bursts with shadow. Like the team fight on OG, like everything just looks so good. Like Fnatic doesn't really have that hero to push waves. Like Envy's trying his hardest to push these waves. You can see like this Naga is like solo D pushing with his like illusion. One Riptide. Look at this. You see how annoying that is? That one illusion. He's.
And all it's going to take is like a sleep into a tiny TP, and Weaver could just die as well. Gotta be very careful. But OG have other ideas. They're in the Roche pit. They're looking to get themselves an Aegis. They picked Invoker. We talked about all his downsides, why he's not a hero at the start. None of his downsides have been punished, and we're here 18 minutes in. He's going to likely have the Aegis. Maybe they give it to Tiny since he's on a big kill streak, but either
I
way,
think you give it to Tiny.
Invoker's a hero now. Like, he's managed to not get punished in that first 20 minutes where the hero is not really that relevant.
But this is exactly like what Tiny wants, is a hero that insurance policy, because even though Tiny's like top net worth, eventually Invoker's going to overcome him. The only reason he's even top net worth on Tiny is because he has, a godlike streak already. And, Courier goes down, nothing on it, but he goes Hood on Weaver. This is an MV classic. That is he has a Hood, Bottle, and Perseverance as a hero that lacks damage, like, innately.
Doesn't want to get comboed,
Yeah, I mean, I see, like, I'm not even flaming it. It's like he's backtracked almost on his build. He's like, I need some sort of tankiness. This Lincoln's not enough. And now, like, half of his net worth is regen items, honestly, if you really look at it.
This is a BSJ item purchase here. Not even joking.
Yeah. I'm
like
sure if he...
I would have gone Dragonlance. I'm not even I'm not saying, like, that's actually what I would have gone. But.
I feel like you have to just go Diffusal.
Yeah, I would have gone Dragonlance Diffusal
The way
here.
you play defensively, you're not going to win this game. Like,
Yeah, you're not.
I felt even this Perseverance was bad. I felt he needed to just get Diffusal.
I thought the Bottle was bad.
I watched, like, this LFY Monet play Weaver, and he always just goes Diffusal, because this hero, like, he doesn't want to go late. Like, he doesn't, like, ultra late with his 25 talent, he's, like, super imba, but this hero has, like, this power spike, and then he falls off. Like, he's really strong, and then he falls off. It's like Parabola, and then upside down Parabola, and then he gets really strong again. Yeah. And you need to, like, abuse when he's really strong.
It's a good word. No, I agree with what you're saying.
It just comes out. Is that going to be enough to turn this fight around? It looks like we're going to keep a higher alive a little bit longer, but he's still going to end up going down. No Tail is destroying them. Resolution in the back lines should be dead. Yeah, the last Crypto.
That's huge kill, actually. There we go.
Nice fight.
There's some life from Fnatic here.
Yeah, it's starts okay. They get a second kill on Shadow Demon. They're just charging in and fighting with this X's and No Tail. He may just die twice.
Arcane Rune Weaver is actually huge for them.
that low cooldown Shikuchi. Notel is being ignored for now with the Aegis. Split wearing off. S4 comes back in. They'll take down Night Stalker, and it is starting to swing back OG's way, having taken 3 kills.
That's about best case scenario.
That was best case.
It's good.
If there's no Aegis there, they could actually focus down the Tiny and finish him off. They're going to do that now, it looks like. Oh no. Envy does have the ultimate. Yeah. It's got the hood.
They don't want to waste Aegis.
Looks like Fnatic don't want to
bring down
They don't want to bring down Notel
Underlord's
right
up
now.
He's keeping the blink disabled with the bugs. Okay, well,
What's happening?
Oh, Jarex is just getting his
No
buddy
tails
out.
out.
Doesn't have a TP.
Rip Jarex.
Unless can he
Jukes?
actually hide?
No way. He's gonna bug because he had Arcane Rune. He's got this. Don't do it, Envy. Oh, there he is.
If he sent an illusion out first, that may have worked.
Yeah.
Cute little play.
Oh.
Best case scenario for Fnatic, we feel, in some ways?
Yes. I very.
I think OG will be better ready. It's kind of like the... It's like a little thing, you know, it's like one fight. Now they need like 3 more of those fights in a way. The pickoffs, they're playing fast now.
Yeah, I like the Blink
Nighttime.
DP. That's a sick build. I mean, I really like Blink DP overall.
Yeah.
But with especially this game because they lack catch and mobility.
Wings player, the mid player, like he was probably the best DP. He'd always go blink after you.
It's good to make sure you force fights with your ult.
Radiant's top tower
He just, the hero wants to be in the middle, you know? Like he wants to be in the middle of the fight, you getting all the siphons off.
Radiant have fortified their structures.
I mean, the way OG have to take it is like, they literally just need to... Now they're gonna wait for the next Aegis, I guess, or just slow down the game a bit more, and they have the Naga sleep to counter-initiate. So like, what they should be doing is, ideally they're gonna take a fight in front of Fnatic's base, and if DP ults, I feel they should just Naga sleep and disengage. And then as soon as the DP ult's down, you trade basically Naga sleep for DP ult, because DP ult is Fnatic's win condition. I don't think they have enough damage without it, but you negate it with literally a support.
Its entire core
Yeah.
too.
So you sleep, you disengage with Naga, and then you just go back in after the DP ult's down. And that's kind of how
they
he's
have
going
no
to win this
dust
game.
here, just sentries. Oh, that was Q play. He tried to make the Invoker come out of Invis by forcing it to attack the.
They still have Aegis for a bit. They want to wait for the BK.
Bell finds DJ here, does not have... Bell. Around to Rosie.
Oh, Naga goes down.
Yeah. Take kill, but this will
This
be
is
a...
space for sure.
Oh, with a double. What's going on? Exism at bottom.
No creep wave yet.
And DJ is still juking.
He's fine. Close. Honestly, that was a lot of space though. That was good.
Oh, yeah,
Made that take a lot longer than it should have.
2 kills at bottom, even if they're just supports into a tier 2 tower. This is
Okay, here we go.
silence up. Unlikely to get this split out and...
Oh,
he barely
my
gets
god,
it.
12 health, 12
Wow.
HP.
That is unfortunate for them.
That's still not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I think they need like really good though, you know?
Yeah.
I think they need some breath of life here. How does it work if you toss Underlord and he's like
He'll still
midair?
be in base.
He'll still be in base?
Yeah. That'd be insane if you could toss him from...
I just wasn't sure. Like, I'm saying if he's midair while he teleports back.
That hero doesn't need to be better, BSJ.
I'm not
You don't need to
saying
give him
that it
more
needs
buffs.
to work that way. I'm just asking if it does.
I think OG should look at buying a gem soon, supporting their jungle. What they should do is like let the Invoker play the left side of the map, and the 4 of them just go bottom together. And they have Naga sleep to this. Now no DP ult. Now like without the DP ult, like OG Fnatic doesn't really have a play.
Still goes down. Rizzo's there as well to help out, and Notel gets the kill.
Now this wave is pushing, so they should be able to take over this tower. Drax might be in trouble.
We go for the sleep as a setup here. Turns, doesn't commit to it.
They're just gonna let Invoker bottom alone. Fly's pinging it.
They'll have a full solar crest now if Drax wants.
I like this BKB purchase on Invoker. He doesn't like need fancy carry the game items. Like he will just carry anyway.
Bahaya doesn't have ult. He's gonna be in trouble actually. Oh, what a toss.
The Notel special.
Purges the Crimson Guard.
Potential Winter's Curse.
Soul Catcher on it?
Notel BKBs just to not get
I got
screwed
Soul
over by that
Catcher on
curse.
him. Yeah.
Doesn't look so tanky with the Soul Catcher.
Got that Underlord illusion now.
Oh, that actually, you know.
Get the aura.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's
Can they go high ground off this?
They can do a lot of damage. They have a Alacrity Tiny. It's a really good duo as well, if you think about it.
A lot of the outspam with the Underlord dead is gone too, and then
Yeah,
another toss
Wyvern.
back. No-Tail's better this than any other tiny player, it feels like, and well, immediately finish off DJ, but there's the toss, they'll burst him down. On the backlines, the blink in from Arbin's Death Prophet finds
Jack's coming.
Rezo, forces him to TP out, but unfortunately they don't actually get the kill. Had the blink, but not have the ability to cancel TP.
Oh, I hate.
Chipped away.
That's actually so rough, like Invoker gets tanky enough, he can just TP out anytime you go on him.
Fly.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Doing the
DPLs.
chappy city.
I bet this sets up a kill. Fly play going on.
So no DP on OG. They still have Naga Sleep. Either have two options now.
Oh,
They
they
can
have a
like
TP.
wait for the Roshan, second Aegis, or they can just on high ground now again. They have a Alacrity BK. That tower dies so fast to that hit.
Going Daedalus, we saw that on no one earlier today. Daedalus Tiny. Same damage output.
We're just gonna, at least for now, looks like queue up the full Lincolns. Still very little damage output.
I don't know. I feel like if the DP had a better start, like this game could have honestly turned. It's like you can kind of see Invoker's weakness as a hero. He hasn't really done much this game.
Yeah.
He's had a few, but the hero, it's not Resolution's fault. The hero just doesn't really do much. He needs like this high level, and I'm not sure if like the heroes in the meta right now are not good. Like probably like, Invoker's not good versus the heroes in the meta, but like you can see if the DP had a better start, if they helped out mid lane, their lineup could have been really fast paced. Fanatics, they could have roshed, taken all the towers, and just snowball the game. And they don't have much like real. Besides Tiny, they can't really kill this Weaver. It's tank. But you know, since you can see the effect of the lane, how it's having on. Still trying their hardest though.
KB pops somewhere.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
I don't know what that was.
Just OG waiting next Roche, I guess.
He's going the Daedalus because of the Alacrity, or how did no one go? Did he go Daedalus after AC or
He
what?
went AC then Daedalus, yeah.
Yeah, so-
I think he just wants to burst on targets like Wyvern in like 2 hits.
I think he's going because of the Alacrity. Isn't it?
Yeah, I could agree.
Oh, Fnatic tried to smoke. This is the Envy play. He loves sneaking these Roches. But they were 10 seconds too early to the Roche pit. Will they go check it again? Fortunately, illusions are all over them. Hotel may be ready to initiate. I don't think he's got BKB because of that misclick earlier. So, yeah, still 20 seconds.
So-
They don't know about it though. They don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have.
It's so hard to do this versus Naga. What it should be is like OG should push bottom and top, mid and bottom, and then Naga just keeps scouting Roche, and they're basically in 2 places at once. And they have to force Fnatic back to the base, and as soon as Fnatic TP's back, which is happening now, OG can go Roche now.
Rezo was doing here. They spot out Envy and force out the time lapse back. He could be in some trouble here.
No, but OG's smart. They're gonna run now. They're gonna run back to their vision. They're gonna do Roche, and they have really good boards now. So now they know Wyvern and Underlord TP back, and their Fnatic is split.
Not only if they can test, they'll know exactly where they come from too.
Yeah, I think right now Resolution should immediately just run bottom. He doesn't need to bots there. He can maybe bots there because bots CD so, but he should be bottom right now, pushing that wave.
Yeah. So not just they've been pushing mid, but you think they need to push?
Yeah,
these
it's like
both
cat
these
mouse
lines,
with
yeah.
Roche Pit, basically. Like force them to
Yep.
deal with other parts of the map.
Gonna try and play the pickoff game. The Sunstrike gonna be off the mark because of the toss back, but better yet, they could just kill a higher.
Or they
How
can do
good is
that.
that?
They split it,
Yeah.
anticipating like somebody behind, but Fnatic are actually just not grouped up. Like they're split pretty heavily.
The thing is, Fnatic knows they're threatening the Roche, and Fnatic can't see anything either, so they have to throw in a hero like that.
Yep.
Yeah, they're trying to steal it. I think.
Envy was kind of in position on the left side, but they're gonna stop going for Roche to go for these kills
DP
instead.
out. He wants to blink in.
But Blink's closer with the BKB, does not get to the low ground though. Well, gonna buy back, and this time Fnatic, they're just charging forward, fly the target. Fnatic's Night Stalker here. They're going to switch targets to Notel. Notel's getting low.
Shrek should try and sleep here.
And may need to do so.
He should sleep, yeah. Disengage. Wait for the DP heal to go down. Like, no tail can even go Shrine.
And they killed 2 supports. Rezo on the backlines. Helping make that one happen.
Oh,
Notel goes in as the sleep wears off. And
The hood! Oh.
oh.
Is this hood on cooldown? I need to know. Okay,
He had one
he
that-
gave it his all.
He had 11-1 charges. He did not give it his all. He gave it his 95%.
Yes, yeah, you got way too high for that.
And I mean,
Dude, he was gonna die.
It's because it was a...
if he got time lapse off, you know,
BSJ would have bought a hood there, man.
I would have a Dragon Lance on top of it, so I would have had, you know, a little bit of health left. Also, Solar Crest pipe.
It's like Envy's the Slark hood. Were you a fan of that?
Yeah, it seemed okay for a while, but then you realize the hero still sucks anyway.
You won the game.
I did win that game.
So, second Aegis, cheese. Also, the cool thing is like remember the Wings Alacrity Panda?
Oh man,
It's not as good, but it still does a lot of damage if you Alacrity the Earth Panda.
the Earth Panda still does like 300 damage a hit. To, like if technically it's the towers.
It dies fast though. It's not as fast as the wing stuff, but
That was a really cool game, by the way. I just like to...
which one?
Really enjoyed watching that one.
You were coaching DC in that
Yeah,
game,
that
right?
was really fun to watch.
Did you?
That was great. It was good times.
I've always appreciated how genuine you are.
I saw a Panda take my tower in like 4.5 seconds. I was like, okay, cool, we just got raxed.
But Blitz, why didn't you just kill it, man?
Run it back.
I forgot you guys were the first team that had to face it.
Yeah, it was great.
That was the end of that DC.
Resolution has
sick.
Resolution
That
has
broke
those
the
nightmares.
Beginning of the end.
He has a nightmare still in him.
He's bringing it back.
I remember that game. You guys had a huge lead, and they just did that. and
Yes,
you
it was...
lost.
Again, Sam. Great memories.
Yeah. Was that the elimination match too?
No, the elimination match
Okay.
was when we had an AM versus a Storm, which I thought was an unlosable...
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember that game.
I was told by Wings, actually, that wasn't, like... Back then, if you played AM against Storm, it was a free win.
For the AM?
Yeah. It's really hard for Storm to win that matchup.
OG looking to put the nail in the coffin here as they try and break high ground here. Damage output coming out onto Ohio.
He doesn't have buyback.
Yeah, that's 77 seconds dead. Exposed racks. Weaver going for the split push bottom. The Winter's Curse not going to finish off Invoker. Can Envy equalize with the bottom
Go with
rack?
that Hood Lincoln's.
Yeah, Hood Lincoln's.
Hood Lincol's.
Yeah,
Woo!
Treads DPS.
He's wishing he had a damage item there. Doesn't even get the tier 3 tower.
Close.
He's going to turn back
wants
and
to
fight,
fight.
yeah. But
I think they have to. They have DPL. They can just sleep.
limited supports and
Or do
Envy.
that.
Okay.
Don't laugh, guys. He's trying.
I know, it's more just like, that was ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. You say he's trying, like he's trying to create a win condition for his team, whereas a lot of players would just, even
Yeah.
behind 20k gold, would just be playing safe and playing low risk Dota.
They're not going to win by not fighting.
Yeah.
Like I'm not actually like that's not actually a bad play. I think he had to
Oh,
try
yeah.
something.
It was more just how quickly he got bursted.
It was kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that he went Lincoln's hood and he just dies instantly.
Fine, one pick the next. This is
I
like-
love this Naga, like the way they've played it.
Dude, Rezo was not the win condition this game.
Rezo.
Rezo...
No,
Rezo's gonna-
Rezo's really good at farming with Invoker.
Yeah.
I see a lot of spells missing.
No-Tail definitely carried this game.
It feels like Invoker could have been any hero in some
Yeah.
ways.
I think so too.
Like, replace that Invoker with any other hero, and this game.
Well,
would
no,
not
the
be
thing is, if
different.
you're tiny, if you like don't have this farming mid laner, then you feel pressured to farm yourself. Instead, No-Tail
true.
just does what he wants to do.
Yeah, like any farming.
Yeah,
I
any
guess,
farming hero, yeah.
Could have been
Last fight?
Medusa, could have been whatever. Yeah.
Albed's BKB.
Oh, that's really
focused.
strong.
They're focusing during the sleep though. No one can actually help the Death Prophet, and they'll GG out.
Underlord live.
That was a dominant game.
I think Fnatic just needs to like. I know it's not necessarily their playstyle, but I think they at least had Rubik in the other games. I think they're gonna realize that they need to have some catch in their draft of some semblance, and then they also